Make my phone call real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we are back. Brother Neil Frazier, aka Metamorphosis, Electromagnetic Melanin, the real reason why Black people are blamed for natural disasters. Well, we should be blamed for natural disasters because we are natural and they're doing stuff to us. So nature takes up for us and brings a disaster. Simple as that. You mess with us? Look, if you mess with me, you got to mess with my cousin, my brothers, my sisters, my whole block. So it's a disaster for them, and we'll call it that, but we're connected. You mess with one part of the family, see? You got to deal with the rest of the family, just like the old commercial with Mother Nature. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
I remember that commercial.
Don't throw rocks at me and don't expect a brick to come back your way.
For real. It's no accident that the hurricanes come from Africa.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have hurricanes over here. Oh, yeah. I mean, when the hurricanes get over there by the East Coast, it's like we're over here with a bowling ball, knocking down pins, and that's why Florida looks like a pin.
Yes. Yes. Well,
I'm glad to be here, brother. Thank you,
brother. As always, I know you're super busy. Thank you for taking the time out every Monday.
No, this is religion, the real religion. This is mandatory, and I'll share what happened earlier. Okay. We had some guys doing finishing up the tile work, and they had the cutters. They were using it and cutting some of the railings on the steps to, do a flat, all the steps in the back. And they were running so many tools at the same time that the power in the house went out. It was still on, but it went out in a certain way. And I don't understand or know how they do their wiring out here. So the power kept on for 5 seconds and stay off for 10 minutes. And I'm like, I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. So I called my friend, the electrician, and he took the time to come from way over on the other side. And he helped me out. He figured out what it was and fixed it, because I was going to have to run this show through the phone in darkness if he didn't get here. Wow. So, I had to pay him, of course. So I had to hit the ATM. He took me over there, and I found my way in a cab back and slid into home plate and just got back in. So that's the way it is right now. So I'm sweaty and not presentable. So I'm here, but my face is not seen.
Yeah. Well, brother, as long as we can hear you too, man, that's great.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. And I just want to greet the family out
there.
So
my welcome
to Diane. My voice. Good show today. Brother, if you want to start out with your banner real quick, I have some comments on it.
Sure. Say it again.
You didn't see it yet? Start out with your banner. I have some comments about it myself. Let me jump out here real quick. So when I saw that great banner, by the way, that's the most feared being on the planet.
There you go.
The other thing too is, you remember the Hulk?
Yes, of course I do.
Yeah, of course you do. They actually took that image from this image right here, and they made it green. But a lot of times when they're trying to cover things, because they're not connected spiritually like we are, they don't even see what they're leaving out, because what you don't say speaks volumes as well. So they made them green. They made them green, not knowing that green is synonymous with black. Because chlorophyll is actually just green melanin.
Yes.
But yeah, brother, I just wanted to throw that out there. I was so excited when I saw that, because perfectly describes what we're going to talk about today. But go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to jump ahead.
Oh, no. That's I'm glad you said that. That's an interesting point of view, and I learned something today. But when I saw the title, I knew the couple of words I wanted to put on in the little article there. But most of all, I wanted to have a strong visual, and the visual is a strong black man, which represents also the woman, right?
Yes.
So it's not just where I'm leaving somebody out, because a woman or black sister is just as powerful, Mother Nature.
Oh, yeah.
But I put it in this form and made him look a little angry, and had the lightning bolts coming from his fists with that electromagnetic melanin. And yes, he's not looking too happy because of what is done to nature, and also what is done to us. If it's done to nature, it's done to us. If it's done to us, it's done to nature. We are nature. And this is why they try to keep us in the projects and in the concrete jungle. Yes, we may be born there sometime, but we have a longing for nature. And anytime we want to be natural, right? Even if we don't live in a tropical area or a place where it's that kind of environment, like the motherland in many places, they don't want to see us yearn for that. They want to keep us inside that controlled box. That's why they call it a project. And I'm not picking on just project, but just the inner city away from. So we have that electromagnetic energy anyway in our melanin. So we bring the energy with us. And even though it may be looked at in an unrighteous way, when we see the brothers on the corner with each other, they might be doing something on a lower vibration, but they're huddling up with each other's melanin, the electromagnetic energy that sometimes and oftentimes is misdirected, but we get a feeling from being with each other, because this whole system doesn't give us that rush and that nourishment that the motherland and nature all over the world does. So they see our power. They know we have this power. Everything about us is melanin, and this is why they watch us so hard, that we are the living, breathing power connected to nature. Earlier, there was something sent to me by my dear sister, and it was these two white women back to back. I mean, butt to butt, back to back. It wasn't anything sexual, but it was some type of movement they were doing, as though they were trying to conjure up some kind of energy, and it looked demonic, right? And so we had a little commentary between each other on the voicemail, and I haven't finished listening to that one yet. And my sister was saying how it looks demonic and it cannot even match the movement and beauty of a black woman. And not to get off the topic, but I have to explain this part, because there was something sent to me of a black woman in Africa dancing in a way that was so organic. It wasn't overtly sexual, but it was spiritual and it was organic. And yes, if you have a lower mind, you're going to say, oh my God, look at her. Oh, no, but it wasn't that. It's our power, you see? And we made the difference. And we spoke about the ratchet twerking that goes on in the nightclubs, in the bars and stuff, which that's something stripped away. That is not anything beautiful, the way we exploit ourselves and allow ourselves to be exploited. But you see, nature. But that woman who was undulating with the dance, but it wasn't like she was doing something sexual. It was a crowd around her, people of all ages, and male, female, and children. And it was a beautiful way that she was moving. If you have a low mind, you're going to say, oh, that's something nasty. No, it was not. But I saw the power in that in comparison to them two white women who have no soul, trying to conjure up something that doesn't exist within them. And that's nature and the melanin connection that we have. That's that intuition. Wow. That's that discernment. That's that third eye. That's that gut feeling connected to the universe. The world is our feelers. And if we stay connected to nature, aka the creator, the whole world has us. And I'm getting phone calls as soon as I get live. This is crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna step for 3 minutes to make a phone call.
Okay.
And another phone. Brother. Back. So continue, and then we'll start with our bands and everything. Okay.
All right. So greetings to everyone today. Great show. I'm glad to be with you guys again today. It's I always look forward to Monday, and kudos to Brother Lance. I've only known him to be late twice in the 5 years we've been doing these shows. So, things come up with him and working on his mansion there. But yeah, greetings to you guys. One of the reasons why I came up with this topic was because now we're starting to get a lot of interpretive data. A lot of it is coming out of AI, but also we have to realize that the individuals who are responsible for putting out certain information, mainly against us, they seek to switch what we know in nature totally around. So you have to really focus and pay attention to why all of this chaos is going on right now. And so the title today, Electromagnetic Melanin, and why Black people are always blamed for natural disasters. Whenever something happens, subconsciously, they blame us because they know at some level the power, the electromagnetic power that those with melanin or melanin, black and brown melanin, have this semiconductor characteristic that can determine a lot of things that happen in our natural world, particularly with natural disasters. And I was talking with Lance earlier how when you look at hurricanes, you think it's a coincidence that hurricanes originate from Africa coming here, because you're more than a semiconductor. That's the scientific definition, because remember, there are two distinct characteristics between the creator and the person you know as God. And that is, one is scientific, the God principle that they have our people bowing down to. That is based on what they study and discover, and they call it scientific study, right? But the higher consciousness that those with melanin are connected to electromagnetically, it is what's considered the God hertz, right? 963 hertz. Okay, it's considered the God vibration, I should say. So when you reach that level, okay, then you have the ability, because you're tapped into the greatest power on the planet. So in a way, sometimes we interpret that because we're so used to them doing things to try to degrade us, that we automatically and naturally respond to that, okay? But in reality, they're actually telling you what your real power is, okay? And they're telling you that by blaming you, because see, this is the unspoken truth. Their scientific world that's been meeting since 1973, okay? And when we look at the Trilateral Commission, which comprises of Western Europe, the United States, and then you have Japan, which is the scientific wing of the white supremacy system, okay? Now, we won't go into we'll just look at the Japanese for what. So the Japanese discovers things that Western scientists are unable to discover. And I keep using the word discover because remember, all of this knowledge has been, okay, within the hue melanin spectrum or the electromagnetic spectrum. When you go back in antiquity and you look at what our people, our spiritual concepts, this is where this was taken from. So before I actually go into the presentation today, I want to use a script that many people don't know that this was taken from Per M. Heru and then plagiarized into the form that you know today, Revelations. But that's okay because the central thought is the same. So this script comes from Revelations 6 and 8. And this will kind of set the blueprint for why we're seeing the chaotic behavior from those who lack melanin and who are openly fighting against the creator-creatrix spirit. But they're telling you that they're Christians, like that's supposed to change, and your behavior is showing that you're not whatever Christianity is supposed to be. So I want to read the script so we can kind of look and get a little deeper into our subject today until Lance returns so we can start looking at the actual data and what's actually going on today. So this script is from Revelation 6 and 8. And it says, I looked and behold a pale horse. And the rider on this horse was called Death. Now I'm going to pause right there because a lot of times when we're reading these scripts and because we don't know the origins of it, just from what we have been told it means, we fail to look at the deeper conceptual meanings and symbiology behind it, because that's all that matters, okay? Not these interpretive narratives that our people have been taught and regurgitate. But when you look at this first line, and we can clearly see this playing out today, no matter what kind of spin they want to put on it. I looked and behold, I saw a pale horse. Now in Per M. Heru and the Coming Forth by Day and by Night, where they plagiarized all of our ancestors' original concepts, particularly from Timbuktu, the University of Timbuktu and Sankora, right? This is what they actually found out. That our ancestors had already identified this colorless spirit, that they used the word pale horse, okay? But the rider, the person that's actually driving this or riding this horse, or this horse we can think of as the world, right, is death. And what do we see all around us today? Okay. And following behind this force is what you call Hades or hell. So the interesting thing is when it says that power was given to the rider of this pale horse, death, okay, to slay a fourth of the people on the planet, which we see happening. I don't care what kind of lies or how they try to twist this around, okay, to kill with the sword and also with famine. That's why all the farms are shut down. See, they teach you through religion, and that's why your 963 hertz, you know, your God principle has been totally erased.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, totally. But what we clearly see here is that when you look at each aspect of the scripts without the emotional narrative, is because they can't see this spiritual language, then you step and fall in line. And anytime somebody go outside of that, you want to knock them down. Okay. So it clearly says that there, and another thing you're going to have to look out for is pestilence, or what we know as things like the waba, or the disease that they made up. So all of these things have already been foretold. But we don't see that because we're so caught up into the emotional aspect of it. And when we get into it today, we're going to clearly expose the demonic forces that are behind this. And I have a couple of stories I'm going to shed some light on as well. But also the pestilence that we're going to see, and it also said something about wild beasts. Okay, now you can look at wild beasts, you can look at it as an animal, or you can, because humans at our lowest form, or at their lowest form, or Neanderthals are animals. Okay, so you can get, I don't care if you like me or not, we can't play with our people with truth anymore. Okay, so we know that as a result of this superconductor, not semiconductor power that we have, that now we are, because we're connected to this power, we are bringing forth hurricanes, floods, earthquakes, volcanoes, the list goes on, and it's not going to stop. We are in what they call this, because remember, when we first studied nature, we read signs, or we read celestial language. We did not use words. Even the method of nature is some symbology. That's why, if you look at how they use recessive genes as the image for you to bow down to, that when they put people in power, they use the Nordic traits, blue eyes, blonde hair. They'll put these traits before you. And brother, that's why I love that that image that you have there, because that is a true symbiology of what the actual truth of our existence is. And this is the primary reason why they cut us off from the diaspora, mainly the motherland. Because when you have the polarity law going on, or polarity wars, this is where your electromagnetic power comes from. So when them hurricanes come, you should be celebrating. Okay, and I'm not talking about celebrating the destruction of anyone. I'm talking about celebrating the fact that there is a power greater than the ones that they're trying to make you bow down to. But they're going to see, because we are in the cycle. They can call it hurricane season or whatever they want to call it. Okay, but it's going to be more devastating here in 2025, because the root number 9 is going to make that happen, which is inside of you. So before we get to our first picture today,
yes,
I want to talk about, well, Lance, and I'm going to take my time with this today, Lance.
Take your time, brother.
I know you're busy. Okay, so one of the, on Saturday nights, I always it's my movie nights now. I've been doing this for about maybe 2.5, almost 3 years now. But I saw a movie that I really, really enjoyed. I went to the movies and saw this maybe 12 years ago. It's called The Perfect Storm. And the only reason that movie did not win, matter of fact, that summer, 4 movies came out that could have been the movie of the year. It was Ray, with Jamie Foxx, did an excellent job with that, and whoever produced it. Also, there was The Gladiator, which eventually won movie of the year. And there was The Perfect Storm. I'm trying to remember what the other one is. Maybe I'll remember later. But you know, at the time it was just a good movie, and it was based on a true story, because in that part of the Northeast, right, they earn their living by fishing. And so you have this these islands that are really unmapped, okay, way out in the Atlantic, the North Atlantic, right? But it's very turbulent out there. And these four, and this is something that had never happened, that had been recorded, okay, where you have four disturbances or hurricanes coming from all different four corners. And boy, when I saw that this time, I sat up in my chair, because now I realized it was time for me to get this revelation and inspiration. And so now what's happening is this perfect storm that's happening here in America with all this chaos is because the Black folks here, the superconductors, and the Black folks, whether they want to admit it or not, they can keep arguing like little children. In the Keebalon, Turtle Island, the Caribbean, South America, Mexico, this power, okay. And boy, let me tell you, Lance, I was wide open. I had to get some coffee because it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. But I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so it showed me what's coming. This is coming. The other documentary I looked at was very fascinating. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, right? With actually one of the young female groups I liked. They made this song, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. I think that's the name of it. And
don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah, that was my song. You know, I like our young people who really are bringing forth something that we can benefit from. That's, you know, already in our genetic memory bank, not all that garbage that they pay them to do. But she reached a level, that 963 hertz, that was so, I mean, I don't want to say, use the word frightening, but even Dr. Sebi said that she had reached a level that very few humans reached. And they had to take Dr. Sebi out, by the way.
Yeah.
That once your pineal gland was 100% open, you can see these spirits walking around. You can see. So they had to eventually separate her from the group, because she cleaned herself out so much, Lance, much like you. That's why you can see a lot of things. Where she was only eating food with electricity in it, like we're supposed to. That's why they use food as a weapon against us, right? And she was spending all her time down by this river talking to the water. And they didn't realize that the Netaru was talking to her through the water and the trees she used to talk to.
Amazing.
And so she reached this, and she was communicating with the Son, with the Creator and the Creator. So she had reached a level that very few, and when they hear Dr. Sebi say this, it was just mind-blowing. He said he had to separate her from the group. But the interesting thing is how she died, right? Have you ever seen that documentary?
Yes. I never watched it from beginning to end, but I saw the whole thing in bits and pieces. But in that van.
Yeah. And you know, those spirits, once she's began to see them, they followed her everywhere.
Right.
And the day that she crashed that van, she told them that she was battling against these spirits, and that they were coming for her. And that because nobody else had this electromagnetic melaninated level that she had reached, because that's what it is. then there was nobody that could save her.
Right.
And I'm not saying Dr. Sabi was freaked out, but to hear him say, he said she had reached a level, that 963 hertz, that very few humans experience in their lifetime. But when she crashed the van with people in it, you knew she was the only one that died, right?
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, she said the spirits was running across and they was trying to turn the wheel, and something happened.
Wow.
And she just turned it to go at these spirits and crashed.
Wow.
And boy, it was like, I know the creatics always teach me things, right? Dr. Sabi is well rested in power. But now that everything I look at, I know that I'm an antenna to receive that, right? So I look at it differently. And I remember something you told me a few years ago, that these spirits follow you, right?
Yes. Yes.
They may
Yes.
follow you through other people.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
they followed me out here to the motherland. There are issues I've had in America.
Yeah.
And it's uncanny that the same, and I'm not going to say the same type spirit, the same spirits, the same entities coming through people, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying there's any kind of vampire looking face or demonic looking face,
right?
But it's the same. They jump. Spirits jump. Call me crazy. Yes. I'm telling you what I know. Hands-on experience. And this is why you have to be careful in any new situation that you go into, because those influencers on a demonic side are there. You're not going to get away from it on this earth, on this plane, especially where they have been assigned to you because of your gifts and the potential.
Assigned to you.
Yes. See, and I say potential because a lot of us walk away from the mission that we're supposed to be on, right? And then they leave us alone because, okay, he's defeated already. But when you stand tall and stand true on your purpose, yes, no matter where you go, you may offset it for a second, right? But it's not going to be. Now, I'm getting a call again. Lord have mercy.
Lance. Hey, if you want to put that first picture up for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that right now, and I'm gonna take this call because it's
okay. And I'll get into the presentation. So I just wanted to kind of lay that out today. One of the things that that's going on is
give me a second, Neil. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, brother. Handle your business. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So what you see before you, I was explaining earlier that the scientific arm of the Trilateral Commission is the Japanese. Okay, now what you see in front of you, they came out with this study, okay, that's melanin. And that melanin, they said that they extracted from microorganisms. Now, what is a microorganism? A microorganism is an organism that you can't see with the unaided eye. You have to have a telescope to see it, or some type of, magnifying glass or something. However, I know that melanin is in all organisms, okay? But now, that melanin came from black folks, okay, or brown folks. They can say whatever they want, okay? But so this actually lets us know that this is one of the reasons why they have to have black organs or brown organs, why they have to have the placenta from our women, even the umbilical cord. So, and as we get into the presentation, you're going to see why it's necessary for them to have this melanin, this black melanin. Okay, you're going to see that. The other thing too is, okay, if you're saying that you're getting this melanin from microorganisms that you can't even see. But how much can you extract from them? You'd have to have, well, I know there are billions, but how do you get access to billions of microorganisms is my question. So in my mind, this is a part of organ harvesting, and why they continue to unalive Black and brown people, mainly Black people. But you'll begin to see a lot more, and even the ones that are committing these atrocities against our people, they don't even know what's motivating them to do this. On one level, they know, but on the other level, they don't know, because the elite that come from them have kept them in the dark as well. So this is why they really don't need them anymore, to be honest with you. They don't need the white middle or upper class anymore. So, so what you see here is an actual study that the Japanese have conducted that actually, and as we move along, you're going to see why you are a superconductor and why everything that happens. Now, there are some people who may go through the scientific data and say, yes, we are a semiconductor, but can we affect the ionosphere? That the ionosphere is only affected by atmospheric pressure, things that go on in the ocean and different things like that. But again, that's the scientific, that's one polarity or one aspect of the polarity. The other is the spiritual aspect, which we have, because we know from Dr. Richard King and the Black Dot, okay, that melanin, the characteristics of melanin and their spiritual ability or etheric ability lives outside the normal synapses of the brain. Okay. So in other words, you're connected to the numbers 3, 6, and 9, which are not connected to all of the other binary codes in the universe and on the planet, which is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Now, that doesn't mean those codes don't have, all of them have a meaning in their own right. We're talking about the ones that are connected to this electromagnetic energy and melanin that we're referring to today. So the Japanese, to close on this picture, visual, the Japanese, they don't have the same aspect of white supremacy that Europeans have. They have it, but they don't have it to the point where they have to, in other words, they speak the truth about what's actually in nature. And so if it, as a result, if it affects the narratives that the Christian nationalists and the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists put out, then so be it. And we're going to see why that is true. Okay, brother, I don't know if you're still on the phone. If you are, we'll just stay here. So the other thing too about the fact that the electromagnetic spectrum, okay, is that without melanin, or this black electricity, then nothing can operate. So they need this melanin to power anything that happens on the planet. Now, what's pushing them in this direction is AI. Okay, but they never thought, again, this is because they can't relate to the higher spiritual energy that's involved with metaphysics, that they could not see this. So now that AI is exposing to them what our ancestors always knew and brought out into the world, these concepts, they're going to try to harness it in a way where you're going to be excommunicated from this. Even to the point now, I was telling Lance, we're going to see this on one of the visuals, that they have changed the name. Okay, and they changed the name to Melopinese. Okay, so they incorporate melanin and Japanese together as if to say, this is part of us as well. So it's Melopinese. All right, brother. If you're around, you could go to another picture. If not, I'll continue with this aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna okay, let me see which one.
Okay, whichever one you put up, I'll go with it. Okay, great.
Okay, is that good?
Yes, sir. That's it.
Okay,
all right.
There you go.
So
I'm right here. I'm just muted.
Okay, you know what, Lance? No, go through another picture. I'll come back to that.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
All right. Just tell me when to stop.
Keep going. Okay. Okay, keep going. Okay, one more with the black man. It's a black guy at a conference. No, he's with a conference. Yes, that's it.
That one there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Now, this is a conference room of nations that are trying to negotiate how this, and see, they don't tell you these things. So the Trilateral Commission meets once every year, okay? Now, they know by keeping you in a chaotic emotional state that you're not going to focus on this. And you know, thank the Creator for this young brother in Africa who has a 100% open pineal gland that sees this. Because if nobody from the motherland saw this, they would walk right in it and take everything. Okay. But you see who's conducting the conference. It's you. You're the only one with this spirit. And like I said, the Japanese, they don't have this same level of white supremacy we see in the Western world. So they got up there black and Japanese. And they have changed the language to Melopinese. And eventually they're going to teach the world and their children that they are the ones responsible for this. And like everything else, the scientific world is going to steal what is naturally ours. Okay. Now, you see this brother is showing them, because you're the only ones that have the full spectrum of the electromagnetic spectrum, because humans are basically blind. They can only see 10% or hear 10% of the electromagnetic spectrum, okay, sight or sound. This is why they continue to upload all this garbage to you on 24/7. Because if you ever focus your energy on this with other black folk, it's game, set, and match, okay? And believe me, they don't want you to know this, but you can clearly see this conference. Now, there may be some question as to why are they releasing this now when they have known this for decades. Again, you have to look at the timing, the perfect storm. They know what's coming, so they hide this from you. Okay, brother, you can go to the next picture. You there, brother?
Yes, I'm here, brother. I'm
okay,
gonna move over. Just tell me.
Picture. Huh?
That one's good?
Yeah, that's good. We go with that. So this is what's happening. No. Do you have the one where they have, it's like a bullseye up there? It's like a bullseye. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So when you look at this, they won't tell you this, okay, but melanin's unique properties surpass Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley don't have nothing on electromagnetic black folks. They tell you that, like they're so intelligent. You're at the root of this, okay? You are the producer of melanocytes and neural cells, which are the only ones that have this electromagnetic property. And you are a transmitter of energy, and you're an antenna. So let's look at this chart. This is not Neil Fraser or LanceScurvX. These are Japanese scientists. I respect the Japanese people. I'll say something I never have said publicly before, but I actually dated a Japanese woman. She was like 16 years younger than me. And boy, let me tell you, their energy level as far as being, so she told me some things, how they actually view black people as gods and goddess. They not going to tell you that, because the Chinese they are on a different way of, because they're more connected with like the stereotypes. But Japanese people, man, they are into the science of nature, extracting, and they'll tell the truth about something. And that got, at first the Western scientists had issues with this. Well, no, we don't want to put this out publicly. I remember, I think I told you one time, Lance, when we were talking, how this Chinese doctor that discovered the fact in DNA decades ago that Chinese people came from black people, and they excommunicated him from the science world. And so you see right here, okay, that that melanin is a electrical conductor. Okay, that's you. All right. And this is why, when I was showing you earlier, that melanin that they say they extracted from you probably have to have trillions of micro organisms to produce the kind of melanin that it takes to do this on a worldwide scale. Now, all of these people that they're unaliving over the world, the majority of these people have some form of melanin in them. Okay, whether they want to admit this or not. We know this already through genetics. But you see all the attributes that you have, and this is why, because you can absorb light, okay, photons, then you are the ones that distribute where this energy goes, not somebody reading a script to you, because we already know that the pale horse that was described by their own plagiarization, the rider is death, and he brings hell behind him. Okay. But yeah, I mean, this is great. So Silicon Valley in private has to depend on on you, but yet they'll lock you, black people, out of benefiting financially from your own energy. That is absolutely crazy. Well, at the same time, mad at you because you won't bow down to this entity that's running America that Lisa Lopez saw that they killed, unalived her for. Okay, brother, we can go to the next picture now, whichever one. Those were the two main ones I wanted to open up that discussion with while we're still discussing the scientific. Now, now one of the things that they're not telling you while all of these wars are going on, it's the war over the stewardship of melanin-based AI technology. is why because they could not connect with the spiritual aspect, why AI now, they're looking at it like it turned on them, when AI is just exposing the truth of what's in the planet, celestial language. But it's tearing down all of their lies and false narratives. Even Caesar Borgia, they are exposing. And so they created this without, they didn't really create it, but like everything else, they stole it and then they, fixed it to meet their particular narrative. But as you can see now, what they're fighting over now, I don't care what they tell you, the media is lying to you, that they're fighting over who's going to control this melanin-based AI technology, or to put it more to the point, who's going to control you. All our brothers and sisters that they have locked up, everything that they're doing, this is why they get individuals to pass along diseases, whatever they can do to stunt the. Now, the question I ask is, so are you going to be crazy enough, rather than taking something that's given to you, which you should be, but your racism is so deep, your hatred for you melanin is so deep, even though you need it to survive in everything you do, that you don't want to give Black people their rightful place in world history, like Dr. John Henrik Clarke said. You will put yourself at risk and all of your loved ones just to try to degrade Black and brown people. Because but behind the scenes, you're starting wars all over the world where melanated people exist, because you're fighting for control of this energy you see right there. Because they're not going to be able to move into the future without it. So I'm telling Black folks right now, okay, and brown folks, I don't have this type of, I know how they were socialized in their culture. But see, I get to know people individually. They need them just as much as they need Black folks, because they are the next level within the melanin spectrum, okay? And they want the children. Don't forget that. So you can go around here being angry. I know they spew hate towards our people, but you have to understand that they don't know our real history. That's not an excuse. I'm just saying the same history books that taught white people and dumbed them down did the same thing to them. So we have to educate them too, because a lot of them are very smart. They have melanin, okay? And spoken language, you have to understand something about the etymology of linguistics. These folks have taken etymology, because every time you go down, okay, and translate, there's something that's either taken out, put in, or changed, okay? You don't have to take my word for it. Do the research yourself. Okay, so right here, they're standing up there. They know this power. That's why when they see you, this is what they see. Our survival. Okay, brother, you can go to the next one.
Okay. Let me see.
You're able to handle your business?
Oh, yeah. We're
okay.
good.
Now, keep it in mind with what we were just talking about, these global summit, the global summit convenes, marking a pivotal moment. Okay. Now, what do you see up there? The final ethical framework, or I like to say blueprint, for melanin-based AI technology. Yeah, you see that right. That's not a misprint, and I didn't stutter. So all of this wicked, evil stuff they're doing, knowing that their world is not going to survive without you, you need to let them know. We know who we are. Just like when you saw the Hulk, that black picture that Lance, Banner Lance had, That's who we are. Yeah, that's the prototype of the first male on this planet. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you say it. I don't care how you try to degrade our men and feminize our young men, try to make us look like you're fighting against the creator, because that's the real God on the planet. And your own AI will tell you that. That's why they're so angry. But at this summit right here, when they tell you they're going to these different summits to talk about, they ain't going there to talk about no economics. They're going there to talk about how they are going to steal by force. And like I said, thank God for that young brother, Traore. Because they're going to see, they're trying to take melanin, melanin, wherever it is at the strongest degree. And I don't care if people get mad. I don't care if you like me or not. That strongest tent is in the motherland. You can say whatever you want. It's here too. It's here on Turtle Island. Okay. But the reason why they want to go, what you got to remember is the motherland is where the majority of this melanin exists. And that's why all of their attention is focused on this. So now, when they have these summits around the world, okay, that's why they hate, what's his name, Putin so much. And they've always demonized him because Putin is like, we ain't going for that. We know the real knowledge. We're going to link with our brothers here in Africa and this young brother, because we know the truth about history. We know what you're trying to do. So, yeah, this is what they don't tell you. You see those Japanese flags up there? And now, like I said, the Japanese deserve to take credit for it. Because black folks, black scientists, they are, I ain't gonna take nothing away from my brothers and sisters, because they face scientific racism, okay? They know this. I was searching a lot. I found a couple of black scientists who are plugged. I know that some of them are actually moving to Japan. Okay. And the Japanese people want black people there. I don't care what they tell you here. Okay. Because you are the future of this planet. And if you're not here, this planet is going to destruct. Okay, brother, you can go to the next one.
All right. Let's see.
So we're going to get into the the next one after this one.
Let me try.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah, we went through that one. Yes, okay. Now, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So you saw the God, right? Now you're looking at the goddess, the mother of the whole earth, that all people on this planet came from. I don't care what you say. Okay. This is the real AI, our sisters. That's why they want to because at the spiritual level, now we're going to move from the scientific to the spiritual here. Okay. And this is the aspect that they don't understand and comprehend. So they have to depend on the Japanese for this. Okay. That you are the world's AI. Okay. And that in this groundbreaking study, the Japanese scientists abstract melanin, as I was saying, from microorganisms. And this discovery surpassed Silicon Valley's production of semiconductors and shed new light on its electrical properties, which have revolutionized, or which is revolutionizing the new chip that AI needs to power the world. It's bad when you can't read your writing. But this is what they consider AI-driven progress. That black womb you see there. See, on a spiritual level, we're always looking at the body, okay? but it's the mind and the spirit that matters. And so they have tapped into this through, I remember reading this book by Michael Talbot, and they said he died at 38. I think they took him out because he was one of the first ones to point this out. But in his book, The Holographic Universe, he kind of touched on this a little bit. And decades ago, when I read this, again, you know, I was myself just coming through my metamorphosis. But there's something deep inside, and I know what it is. They have put in the Caesar Borgia in the subconscious of our mind, that it blocks us at our highest spiritual level. Okay. And this is at the root of self-hatred and why we see this being passed down to our children. Okay. But I want you to concentrate on this particular picture. I don't care what they're showing you in the movies with these Nordic races and all this other stuff. This is you. This is Black women. This is why they need the goddess of the universe, or the planet, excuse me. Why they need you, because there cannot be no progress without them continuing to study our goddess, to extract everything they can from there. When we saw them, when they did this in the medical industry, when we did that video on how they used our women to bring about medical fields for women. Okay. So make no mistake about this. Okay. The power that you have as a superconductor, not a semiconductor, that is the language, scientific language that they use, because they cannot go beyond discovering things or studying it. But they got the full laser on you right now. And you see that, I love this image here. Mm-hmm. People from all around the world, and you see that object that they want to call a UFO. You see our ancestors up there, right? Yep. And she is from that mothership. Okay. Now, and you know, again, I don't get into religion, but Elijah Muhammad was spot on when he talked about the mothership. I don't care if you get mad at me or not. Okay. You learn something from all aspects of knowledge. Okay. And that mothership right there, the same one that's coming back that they talking about is hostile, might be hostile to you for a reason. I'm not frightened about it. You know, our people should be, don't let them tell you about no hostile. Look, the last thing I'm going to say about this right here is we need to refocus our energy instead of emotionally clapping back at these people. Put your superior, I don't like the word superiority. I'm going to take that out because now I'm sounding like them. Take your creator creatrix given electromagnetic super melanin and use that to advance our people and the world. With that, brother, I think I'll close on that one. Yeah, I think I'll close on that one. That's that picture right there says it all, man. I don't know. Can you put your banner again? We can see both of them together. Because what they do is they use symbiology, mainly through the Nordic images and Caesar Borgia, to keep our people's minds. Brother Lance, could you show your banner one more time? Because one of the things we need to do is continuously remind our people of who we are. Yeah, there you go. That is the real black man right there. That is the most feared being on the planet. And I'm going to say something about our brothers. Life ain't been no crystal stair, okay? And every time we talk about stuff, they want to say we're playing the victim card. So I guess the farmers and the white people that's crying now online, they're playing the victim card. Crickets, But now there's no mention of a victim. But now some of them are coming out of this fog that these Luciferians have had them in. Okay. But I want that picture. This is the true nature of black men. Okay, brother, can you go back to the goddess? Because, see, they got us fighting against each other for a reason. We don't hate our sisters. Okay. We hate a lot of the things that they have had to resort to, the behavior. But look at that. That's you. And stop getting in these low vibratory arguments with these vampires. Just teach our children about who we are. Okay, brother.
That's it. Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, it's up to us. And thank you, Brother Lance, because, you know, it's very easy for, I applaud your strength, brother. You're the real definition of a real black man. And people can say what they want. Oh, he brown nosing up the Lance. Yeah, if that's what you want to call it, then so be it. But we have to have real.
Thank you, brother.
No, it's the truth, man. Strong brothers that are unapologetically black. Okay. Now,
indeed,
what people don't realize is the cost, the blows that you have to take for taking this stand and telling the truth to our people. And again, we know a lot of the hate is going to come from our own people. We know this already.
Yes, indeed.
Right? Oh yeah, a lot of the majority of it.
Yep.
But as we continue to, you know, you don't chop down a tree with one axe, hit of the axe.
Right. That's right.
You boom, 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 boom.
That's right.
It's gonna fall.
And let me tell you, when you're really gangster, and I mean that in a good way.
Oh yeah.
You chop the side of it and plot where it's gonna fall.
Ooh-wee.
You see what I mean? When you chop that tree down, you do it strategically, a controlled, engineered demolition. When you go at the enemy, all they can do is talk about you. They're not gonna put their hands on you, but they can just run with falsehood. But all you do is stand on your truth and stay consistent. Even when they knock one of your buildings down or your platforms down symbolically, you continue to build. What do the worker ants do? You on purpose kick over the anthill or do it by mistake. They don't cuss you out. They continue to build.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not just about the grains of dirt that they use to build the anthill, it's the energy put out. So the energy that you put out, in your work, like what you do, there are people who probably you'll never ever talk to, but they know you well. Mm-hmm. And we're imprinted with what you put out there. That's the real communication. It's not just what's seen or acknowledged. There's somebody curled up with some headphones right now in their phone, watching your image and watching you, and they're running with it. You're planting seeds. Mm-hmm. So I have to support you because our energies run concurrently on a righteous level. See? So we're like the worker ants. It's not one worker ant, it's a bunch of them. But they have a mission, and they move in sequence. And what did
Mrs. Scurv say that they even, in a way, they control the weather in a way, because they know when rain is coming.
Right. She told me that, and it bugged me out. This is in Florida.
Me too. When I
see the ants just going around in a circle, running around like no direction, like in one area, like, and it's almost like they're communicating that to us. And then we wonder how those who were native and original here in America, without the so-called modern amenities, but they had a connection to nature that looked out for them. You see, I was just told about the canaries that come by your window or come near you and start singing. Because there's a young lady I know who had different experiences, good and bad, but it was always a warning from the canaries by the window. Birds have come to my window lots of times where afterward something happened that was crucial, whether it was viewed as bad, no, it wasn't bad, it was just a crisis, a change, or something that was just out of nowhere good. I had a bird violently come to my window, one of these big ones that are native to this area. They used to land on the roof and everything, and yeah. And I'm like, wait a second, it frightened me. And he was like, the screen was closed, the window was closed, and he was digging at the screen, and he was looking at me. I'm sitting there 2 feet away from it. Now I decided to go out later on that day. It was still middle afternoon. You just stay home and chill. And I didn't want to stay home and chill. I wanted to go. But when I hear that voice, which I don't hear, I feel it, the vibration. Like I told her, I turned around and I found out 2 days later that a van that was coming up the same road, I don't know whether it's a van I would have got on, but the way that it was described, it looks like it. The van driver was intoxicated, lost control of the van, and everybody in the van died.
What?
Yep. And I was walking right. The vans come frequently, so it could have been, or maybe it could, but there's that energy out there. And that big bird that don't pay me no mind. There's a bunch of them out there. They land on my railings, on my balconies, and they mind their business, you know. But it was violent the way to say it. It frightened me. I knew it meant something. Yeah, I knew it meant something. And he was.
You ever seen that movie? Well, it's a series of movies, Final Destination.
I heard of it. Maybe I saw pieces of it.
You should
tell me about it.
Yeah. So in the original one, this young guy, there were a bunch of students. They were going somewhere on an airplane, and he like freaked out when they were getting ready to book. No, they got on the plane, and it was on the tarmac, just sitting, getting ready to take off, and he freaked out. Because he had a vision, a flash, real quick inspiration, where he saw the plane crash.
Yes.
So what happened was he was acting up so much, he got off, and I think he persuaded maybe a couple other people to get off, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people, maybe 4 or 5 people followed him.
Right.
So it's something interesting happened. After the plane crashed, death came after every one of them and violently unalived them in different ways. So just because they escaped that plane crash, and then they turned around and they was investigating them, saying, well, how did you know this? Did you have something to do with the plane crash and all this, blah, blah, blah? And then they realized he had this epiphany that he had seen, and it was the way they showed he saw the plane crash. It was explicit. So I'm thinking about that voice coming through with a Netaru is warning you.
Yes, I look out for that.
Yeah, man, that's powerful, brother.
I look out for that. And that's how I walk. And I'm not trying to come off like a guru, like I always say, but I've learned that. And I've always had that inside of me from young. But whenever I didn't heed it, it was something unpleasant or something that I shouldn't have gotten caught up in because I didn't listen to that voice.
Wow.
Strictly that voice, and I look out for it. Even when I make plans. If something comes to me and it's a certain kind of vibration, it's not just any thought. It's a certain stillness, a certain peace, and it just comes to me even in normal things. Like if I say, I'm going to go downtown and do it this, then I'm going to go on the west side and do it this way, that voice will come to me and say, no, don't do the stuff downtown. Do the stuff on the west side. You get, and I'm thinking logically, oh, it's better. My plan is better. But when I do it the way I'm told to do it from that vibration, I didn't know it would be a big traffic jam downtown and people couldn't get around. There might have been an accident and I wouldn't have gotten it done anyway. I would have been stuck right there. See, so just in the everyday living, I walk with that and I listen to that over and above. If something major I'm about to do and that voice is like, you're not going to do this, or with people, certain people. It's like they could smile, they could stay away from this person. I don't let my thoughts get in it. Like to say, oh no, but they talk so good. They talk the same talk I talk. If that vibration comes to me, I don't insult the person, but I'm backing away. And I live easy this way. There's a friend of mine I haven't seen in years is in Ghana, and we did the show, right? The show you like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That was. I love to hear truth, brother.
She's gonna swing by and show her face and everything, and
good.
I can't say, because sometimes I'm gonna say it this way: when you're prominent in a certain field and you know stuff that, especially when we had to wear the masks and stuff,
yes,
you can be followed, probed, and surveilled.
Yes,
and that's happened, and the things that happened were really eye-opening, overlapping the things that I've been through. You wouldn't believe it. I do offline. You know, I'm not going to put that kind of stuff out there, but that individual is, that's why I don't want to say the name. I don't want to say, they'll show the face, but they're not going to talk about those things. We're going to talk about relationships or something. But this world, man, you just don't know. People think, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. No, I've been exposed to so much through other people and through my own experiences to see certain things. And this is why I choose to go into this gear the way I'm doing it now, because like a truck that you left at the green light when it was red, and you're in a little Toyota, you zoom off in the 18-wheeler, they got to shift gears. It's going to come down. You're going to look in your rear view mirror and see this thing speeding as big as it is. It may take time to get grounded, but oh boy, when all of that weight gets grounded, you driving fast, this thing passes you and shakes your vehicle. You see what I mean? So lots of times with things we have to do, we have to take our time and build a foundation and gain the momentum. Gain the momentum. It's just like being in a fight. You're punching somebody. It's not always just arm punches. It's how to have your legs a certain way, how to swing your upper body a certain way, and you put more power on the punch, but not before it's time. It has to be well placed. So here I am building the foundation again. Say it again.
You know what's interesting about what you're saying, Lance, is that you're the one that controls your time. When some outside force, whatever it may be, controls your time and how you move, then you have given up at least 50% of your energy force.
Yes.
So when you're moving by someone else's time, that is why I always control my time.
Yes, because you know why? You know why?
Yeah.
Time emanates from you.
Yes.
You are time. We know the Creator created it all, but you are the center of your universe.
Yes.
When you open your eyes, it's not in somebody else's head seeing a different perspective. You're seeing it from where you are. So you create that. I wake up and I make things happen. Yes. By doing and by calling it out. It's like today, I need to meet someone who is into this because I need to get to this point. I can help them, they can help me. I'm going to meet, and you put the energy out there and don't look for it. It happens.
Yes.
And I'm getting better and better with that because it comes from the inside. You request from the universe what you need, and you're sincere about it, and you're about it, and you do the ring walk, and you get into the ring, and you're a sincere warrior who's well trained and disciplined. The universe is going to give it to you.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no question.
But you can't talk this talk and be a punk. You'll never get it. You see what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So when I sit here and look at this reality that we've created because of the Creator, it's because it was requested and the order was put in righteously. But you have to sacrifice and be willing to toil. It may come sooner, it may come later. There will be obstacles sometime. Like today, I know that there's so much good coming for me because the tilers ran so much machinery, the lights went out. but the electrician came from all the way from across town and hooked me up, right? And then the plumber who was supposed to come today to do some measuring for some specialty pipe work didn't show up. So I could be upset. Man, the power went out and I'm sitting here in darkness and I'm thinking I'm gonna do the show through the phone, right? Whatever. And I went out, paid the electrician, came back, got here on time. So even when there's turmoil and chaos shrouding you, you're still supposed to stand tall and move with confidence, knowing that at the end of the day, it's going to be all right.
That's
so whatever the universe throws at you when you're that chosen warrior for your mission. See, you're in your airplane as the pilot, flying your plane, taking you and the people that you influence to where you have to go, right? So we all have our missions that are overlapping.
Unless it's a black pilot.
Oh, Brother Neil, we have a brother here, Chef Joseph, the entrepreneur. He said he would like to donate to your organization, Brother Neil. So really? I know, you know, you're not out here or whatever have you, but people feel your vibration. So which is a way that we can cash app you? And I'll put it in the chat room right now. You can speak it out.
It's $, capital S as in Sam, A is in Apple, A is in Apple, F is in Frank, O is in Ocean, O is in Ocean. And that's a tribute to my oldest son.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it on the screen and just let me know if that's the correct one.
Okay.
Your Cash App. Right there, right?
Let's see. I don't see it.
Okay, it's a $, capital S, S A F O.
Yes, $, capital S A F O. Correct.
Okay.
And thank the brother. Thank you so much. You know, one of the things too is with our people, we have to realize that they're going to use fiat. As long as we're jealous of each other, they're going to use fiat to block us as well. So it's not, you know, for me, when someone gives me money, especially I consider where the source comes from. I make sure that I plant that seed in the proper field, fertile soil.
Right. That's
and
right.
I separate that from my personal. So whatever I generate personally, I use for the personal things I like. But when people give me money for this purpose, I use it primarily for that.
Exactly.
So thank you, brother.
Yes.
For that.
Yes. That's what I believe in. You know, put it in for that. Reinvest it. And like I said, for you, brother, you may come on for the time you come on Monday nights, but you've been this way all your life and your life walk. And for you to take the time to synthesize it and break it down with the life experiences and everything that you've learned and what you read and see the hours that you research, people don't see that. You see? And we have a lot of people out, honestly, there's some good people out here, but I will say a lot of them are biting off of each other and they're not doing the research.
Yeah.
They're not taking those hours and days and nights to come with something because see, you may refer to some of your notes, but those are your notes, but you come here and you speak. It flows.
Yeah, make sure I get it down in my system.
Person claims lawyer and went through law school and studied the books. How do you know that if they may refer to the books every now and then, but if you're a lawyer for so many years, you become the law and you can spout it out effortlessly.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be.
Because that's part of you. Yeah. Mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, muscle memory.
Yes.
You become you seek the vibration, you have it, but you cultivate it. What good is it? There you go. There you go. Right. You know, you just can't have a fireplace and throw one match in there and think it's good. You got to cultivate the fire. You may want to go to sleep, but you got to get up and say, okay, is this fire still burning? I got to cultivate it. And you can't fake that.
No, you can't.
See? You can't fake it.
And you know, one of the other things too, brother, and I appreciate the kind words, is that when we realize who we are and our value is based on our purpose, not what type of clothes we wear, what kind of car we drive, and all this other. Your house should be your castle. Yes, that's the one area I give a pass. Everything else, you know, we're out here fighting against each other over. Black people, as we saw, and the Japanese are going to take this power away from us. Mark my word. You keep fighting and arguing, talking about I'm African, I'm FBA, I'm Caribbean, I'm Mexican. I'm gonna keep doing that and see what happens. Because you carry something inside of you that's so valuable to the world that they will take all of your children from you for that. Believe that.
Yeah.
You had like Lisa Lopez, those spirits she saw. And the one thing I remember her saying is that because Dr. Sabi was kind of concerned. He was like, okay, you're spending too much time by the water, you're spending too much time by these trees. And that's what I want you to do, because they would do it like maybe 2 or 3, well, 3. Dr. Sabi was on the codes, maybe 3 times.
Right.
I mean, 3 hours a day. But Lisa Lopez would be out there 10 hours or 9 hours. And they was like, okay, she's losing her mind because she was literally talking to the ancestors she saw in the water, bro. Literally. And those spirits was attacking her like crazy. And it was just no way she could get away. I don't know why, because there are, you know, certain people who their lives, it may seem like their lives are cut short prematurely, but their purpose for being on this earth has been served. And that, because their energy never leaves, just like her energy affected me Saturday night.
Right.
Okay. That energy is still, because it hit me so hard, and I'm sitting here stunned, like, wow. So we just need to know how you need to go about what, like today, when I finish what I need to do over here at the center, I'm gonna be down by some water for about 3 hours.
There you go.
That's how it works, brother.
That's right. That's right.
Well, my brother Lance, I gotta get going. You know, always.
Yes, I know. I know.
Talk to you all day. I hate this part of the show, but
if this was the church, it'd be the church parking lot. We sitting out there. The church service was an hour, and we out there for 3 hours. But yes, this is the longest part of the week for me, because it's the longest time before we come back next Monday, man. And
man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man, and the family, and thank you for the brother or sister, or the brother that gave the love portion today.
Yes, Chef Joseph, the entrepreneur. Thank you, brother.
Thank you,
brother. Yes.
And you guys stay strong. Let's stay on our truth, and let these vampires know that this fake pseudo, whatever it is, don't control us.
That's right.
And so peace and love, my brother. Have a productive week, and hold on to the belts.
Oh yeah, we ain't giving those up. Much love, brother.
All right, my brother. Peace and love.
Yeah.